Z101.9 FM and its Roots and Routes, bringing your destination stories to life every Saturday at 1 p.m. for an exciting hospitality and tourism conversation. And today, we're going to delve into a fascinating history about the Fredericks Cave slave plantation. And I have an amazing tourism personnel, Mr. Emmanuel Frimpong, for a thought-provoking discussion on the ministerial appointments within the tourism industry. And then I will take a call from my host who is on tour, Nee Solomon, with some clients on Route and Route. It's Z101.9 FM. Thank you for listening.
You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio. You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
So the songs you've been listening to is from the Osibisa, the legendary Afro-rock band from Ghana. It has a rich history spanning over 5 decades. Osibisa was formed in London in 1969. The band was founded by 4 amazing African expatriates from Ghana: Teddy Osei, Sol Amafio, Mark Tonto, and Lasisi Amwa, along some wonderful 3 London-based Caribbean musicians. It's Osibisa Band. Enjoy. I have my amazing guest today in the studio with me. Hello, Mr. Frimpong.
Hi, Prissy.
It's good to see you.
Always.
And I love the way you're representing the culture of Ghana and tourism.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Emmanuel Frimpong is a tourism and hospitality consultant and analyst. He's also a lecturer at Hotel Catering and Tourism Training Institute, HOTCAT, with the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture. He's the founding president of Africa Tourism Research Network, ATRN, and the vice president and co-founder of Africa Medical Tourism Council, AMTC. He's also the CEO of Pishon Consult Limited and president and founder of People of Purpose, a youth-focused NGO. He has a long profile I would love to read, but I want to hear from you. Mr. Frimpong, you're welcome.
Thank you, Priscilla.
It's good to have you.
Good to be here.
What's happening this afternoon? What's happening? Mr. Frimpong.
What's happening this afternoon? Well, it's a great time to be here, and also tourism is also taking a new trend in the sense that we have a new government, we have new minister, we have new deputy minister, we have new GTA CEO, new GTDC CEO. So a lot of things are happening. And hopefully we can have time to delve into some of them and see what is really happening this afternoon. So we employ listeners and viewers to stay tuned because they are going to have some wonderful time.
Okay, if you are joining us now, it's Z101.9 FM and it's Roots and Routes, bringing your destination stories to life. And you are hearing from Mr. Emmanuel Frimpong, who is here to have an amazing conversation with me on the new tourism appointee. We'll be right back.
tuned in to Z 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio. Z 101.9 FM. You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Welcome back to Roots and Routes, and I have Mr. Emmanuel Frimpong in the house, and I'm just going to go straight to my first question. So we are delving into the ministerial appointees for the tourism sector, and I just want to find out from Mr. Frimpong, what are your expectations from the newly appointed ministerial tourism team, and how do you think that they're going to drive growth and shape things within the space?
Thank you very much. So for us in the tourism and hospitality industry, as we always say, tourism is a low-hanging fruit in the country, and we've seen how tourism has supported the economy of this country and many other African countries. Globally, 1 out of 10 persons that you meet is employed in the tourism and hospitality industry. So we employ a lot of people in the industry. And going straight to the question that you asked about how the minister comes in with the new appointment.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let me congratulate the minister, Honorable Jifa Gomashi, for this appointment. Now, she has been at the industry right from quite early age as a creative person. She's been part of tourism. And then also, she also came in as a deputy minister for about 3 years or so. She was at the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture. So it's more or less a comeback, but at this time, she's coming as a substantive minister. So she has had some experience at the ministry. So we are looking forward to she coming in, leveraging on her experience, the people that she knows already. And then also with the hindsight, because she's been there before, went and now she's coming back. So what she thought she could have done when she was a deputy minister, now she's a minister, she should be able to do it. And then also having worked there before, knowing the people that she worked with, and then knowing their abilities and who to actually do what, she should be able to also kickstart. For us in the industry as a private sector, we haven't done much in terms of what Ghana is supposed to do as a tourism sector. There's so much that we could have done. So we are looking forward to seeing her strategizing for us to do the right thing. First of all, we need to look at the tourism development fund. That is the 1% tourism levy. Right. It's something that we have to look at it. For me, I think we have to look at how we can increase it, and then also look at what we have used the fund for so far, and then look at how best can we use the fund to help the development of tourism. So I can see you are smiling when I talked about increasing it, because we need to justify the increment, but it has to be increased from my point of view. And then also another thing that she also has to look at is the tourism development plan. At the moment, we don't have a blueprint as an industry that this is where we are going. We had a tourism development plan 2013 to 2020, I think 2026 or 27 thereabout, which we didn't really use. There were so many good stuff in that plan, but we didn't really use. And I know one has been developed, so she should speed it up so that we can have it and then use it. The other thing that we are expecting here is that the tourism infrastructure is quite bad. Road infrastructure is bad.
I was actually coming to that question.
Yes.
So I'm smiling because the 1% e-levy, Mr. Frimpong, are you not sure that the people in the industry, wouldn't they be upset with you? Because as of now, the 1% tourism levy, the people who actually pay, the hoteliers, and they haven't benefited from it. And I know that the Hotel Association is even advocating seriously for them to that 1% tourism levy to be used to develop the hospitality. And so now that you're saying that they should increase it.
Well, you see, I think the challenge is that we in the private sector, we have not pushed the ministry or GTA to use it to do what it is really meant for. So we are not really benefited. If you look at one of the things that you're supposed to do is capacity building, scale up training for tourism practitioners, but we are not seeing that. But we are also not pushing for it. So
are you sure they are not pushing for it?
I can tell you, if you are not bringing programs, right? Because if we are paying, and let me say, it is not really we who are paying, it's everybody, yourself, anybody who goes to any hotel, who uses any facility,
pays that 1%.
Yes, you pay. So is everybody in the country that pays. So we are supposed to push for the users, the right usage of it. If we are not doing it, then we cannot complain. We cannot blame anybody for we not getting it. We have to have a program that this year, this is what as a private sector we want to do, and we want you to sponsor it as part of the Tourism Development Fund. But if we don't go to the ministry or GTA to ask them that these are the projects that we want to do, then they will use it for other things.
Whatever they want to use it
for. But until we push it, until we ask for it, that is how it will.
Okay, before I come back to my next question, which is, what do you expect, like in your opinion, what's the biggest challenge that we are having within the hospitality and tourism space that you believe that with the new appointees, they can enhance it to see the growth that we need, that we know tourism actually brings to the economy of Ghana?
For me, the biggest challenge, one has to do with the understanding of players in the tourism and hospitality space, and also understanding of citizens in the country as far as tourism and hospitality is concerned. Ghana, if you move within Accra, the filth in Accra, and to a large extent most cities in this country, is terrible. It doesn't help us. If you go to our beaches, there are not anything to write home about. And it's because as a nation, most of us don't even understand what tourism does for us, the importance of tourism to us as a community. If communities understood how tourism can benefit them, they will start looking at how they can also keep their environment, they keep the beaches, all these places clean. So we need to look at how we promote tourism even in the country, and I'm talking about domestic tourism, and also letting people understand the impact of tourism to development. The second thing that we have to look at is training and capacity building of players in the industry. One of the problems or the challenges that we have is poor customer service. And you are a customer service as ambassador, and you've been doing it, so you know it all. Now, if you go to most of our hotels, the average Ghanaian has in him or her that service. I don't know how I'll call it, but we are ready to offer service. But professionally, we are not doing it. We offer.
Do you think that it has to do with leadership? Because if you are pushing a customer service agenda in your space, you have to leave it. So do you think that the challenge is because the employees within the organization do not see management or the leaders of the space living as such, or there are no culture, like there is no standard operating procedures, there are no people checking it? What do you think, empowers that lack of customer-centric behavior within the space?
I think it's because we don't have standards, and that comes back to tourism development plan that we don't have. If we did, you would have in it a roadmap. If you want to become a front office person, this is a training you are supposed to get. If you want to become a room attendant, this is a training that you are supposed to get. If you want to become a chef, this is the kind of training that you want to get. So everybody at each level will have a certain level of training. So if we don't have that, then you employ anybody and you don't care if you are supposed to train them, or you don't care if they are supposed to do ABCD. So if we did, and the GTA is also following up to make sure that every year they are going around to find out, okay, you have employed people, how often are you training them? How often are you building their capacity? And also they themselves are organizing training and capacity building for the sector. Then we will begin to see it. Some organizations are doing it. I don't want to mention names, but some hotels, when you go there, you see that they have taken it upon themselves, training their staff, making sure they are delivering. So if we do it across board, then we can see customer service being practiced everywhere.
Thank you so much. If you're joining us, it's Z101.9 FM and it's Routes and Routes, bringing destination stories to life. We just listening, having a discussion with Mr. Emmanuel Frimpong on the ministerial appointment, and he is saying that we need standards in the tourism and hospitality space. We need GTA, which is the Ghana Tourism Authority, to do monitoring and evaluation of the sector. And then the ministry understanding the players within the tourism space and building capacity in the space. And that's some of the feedback that Mr. Frimpong is sharing to the ministry, and we hope that they are listening. Let's listen to some music and be right back.
Z 101.9 FM.
Everybody get on down. It's the latest thing in town. Hear the sound and feel the beat. Time to move and shake your feet. Oh, aye, mama, hear me now. Hear me, mama, hear me now. Oh, aye, mama, hear me now. The floor and start to move. Let the rhythm
Z 101.9 FM.
clap your hands and sing along. Hey, such a happy, happy song. Oh.
You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM. Your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
It won't be long to find your love. It must be me you're thinking of. Pata pata is the game.
It's Z101.9 FM and it's Routes and Routes, bringing your destination stories to life. And I was just having a discussion with Mr. Emmanuel Frimpong on the ministerial appointment. Mr. Frimpong, my last question for you, I wish I could exhaust all of my question, is how can the tourism development leverage to benefit the local economies? I know that the local communities, because I know that in one of your responses, you said if the ministry really understand the local players, then we can do better. So what are some of the things that you think that the ministry can do to leverage on those opportunities to, enhance tourism within that space?
Okay, so if you look at communities, in fact, we have 6 individuals that are or stakeholders that are supposed to benefit from tourism activities, and the communities are one of them. Most tourism attraction sites are in communities, but unfortunately, often we don't get a communities benefiting from it. So how can they benefit from the tourism development agenda? One, we should be able to train communities to partake in the tourism in that community. For instance, if there is a hotel that is built in the community, if there's an attraction site that is within the community, we should be able to have some of the locals trained as tour guides, some as driver guides, some as even chefs in the hotel, some to develop their capacity to even rise to become managers and things like that. And then also those who are selling paraphernalia, who can also produce and sell, and those who also become more or less tourism police, where they make sure that the place is safe and all that. So all of them can benefit from the tourism agenda. And then also sometimes we can also build facilities like schools, clinics for those communities, so that at least they also see that tourism is giving them something. For instance, if you take places like Kentampo Waterfalls, we should be able to plow back some of the money in the community, build schools, try to see how we can work on the roads, and then also train some of them to do other things that is linked with the communities. And then if you take big hotels and then big attraction sites, when people come, they eat. So locals can also prepare local food. Farmers can also do farms with the intention that tourists will always come. There are a lot of things that tourists buy, like what I'm wearing now.
Yes.
It's a local fabric, so they can do it there. Seamstress, tailors, fashion designers can all get something to do as a result of tourism being done there.
Thank you so much. I think that we have to have a part 2 of this conversation. And right before we wrap up, I want to speak about our tourism spotlight for today, which is Frederick's Cave Slave Plantation, which is located in Abokobi near Accra. Ghana stands as a historical remnant of Danish colonial rule in the Gold Coast. It was built in 1832 by the Danish government, and the plantation served as an economic outpost and a key site in the transatlantic slave trade. Today, it remains an important heritage site that shed light on the impact of European colonialism and the suffering endured by enslaved Africans. So Frederick's Cave Slave Plantation was named after King Frederick the Sixth of Denmark, under whose reign Denmark continued its economic exploitation of the Gold Coast. Whilst the plantation was primarily used for agricultural production, it also played a role in the Danish slave trade, serving as a transit point for enslaved people before their shipment to the Caribbean and other parts of the world. Its roots and routes on Z101.9 FM. And just before we leave, I will give you a tip to look out for when you're going on tour.
You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure,
Okay,
and
Mr.
business radio.
Mr. Frimpong, please wrap up for us and tell us some of the programs outlined that you have.
Well, this month is a month of love, and next month is Tourism Month. So for us, we have started with a lot of activities. Yesterday there was a chocolate day, a media lunch. Next week, Wednesday, we have tourism stakeholder mix-up, where we will have a minister, GTA CEO, the new GTA CEO, GTDC CEO, and Professor Kweku Boakye, Vice Chancellor of Cape Coast Technical University, who will be our main speaker. So we all be gathering at Osu Conclave Meetings and Event Center. All the stakeholders will be there to share ideas how we can build the kind of tourism we want together. So we invite as many as can come, but please call us before we come because it's strictly by invitation. But afterwards, we will escalate it and do something in other regions as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Frimpong. I would definitely be there. And please, if you really want to be there and meet our amazing new minister, Honorable Jifago Mashi, and other ministerial appointees, you should call Mr. Frimpong and register. Right before we leave, I'd like to share a few tips for you when you are going on tour. Before you go on tour, make sure you do a proper research of the local customs and traditional etiquette within the space. This will help you avoid unintentionally offending local and show some respect. Plan your itinerary, including transportation, accommodation, and activities. We don't want you stuck anywhere. And be mindful of the environments. Don't dirty the environments, no matter where you are. And always, always prioritize your safety. It's your Power Smile Ambassador, Priscilla, on Route and Route, bringing you destination stories to life on Z101.9 FM.
You're tuned in to Z 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
At 1 p.m. on Route and Route, bringing your destination stories to life with your host, Nee Solomon, and your co-host, Priscilla Mawena Wellington. See you next week and have an amazing weekend.